This is like so many memories in here of different ideas, different designs that I've had over the years, and I want to share that with you. Hi, I'm Jake, and I've been drawing Pokemon since I was 7 years old. Not only do I draw Pokemon, but I draw monster designs in general, and I've posted 2 videos already of my homemade TCG. This is episode 3, and I'm very sorry that it's been delayed, but as you can see, my life is chaos right now. I'm in the middle of a renovation, I work full time, and I've got a son who's just turned 1. So sometimes making YouTube videos has to take a back seat. In this episode, I'm going to go through all my old TCGs, starting back from when I was a kid all the way up to this year. I started filming this video a couple of months ago, so the footage might jump around a bit, so just bear with me, but it's going to be worth it because I've got some amazing ideas for different TCGs, and not just in the monster collector genre. I'm really happy with some of the ideas and I'd love to revisit them again in the future, so if any of them stand out to you, please let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can remake them. But before we start, I'll insert a clip of something that I found when I was in my mum and dad's attic and was my very first TCG. I found an old sketchbook, or what do you call them? Scrapbook, that's it, where you just put random stuff in. Clearly wanted to stick my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in. Made my own Pokemon badges. I'd stuck in some of my old fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I guess. Dancing Fruit, I actually remember that one. Nibby. Mystic Sheep, which is clearly a rip-off. There's even a Karibo next to it. Black Devil. And then Fire Ritual, Magic. Get 1 magic card out of the graveyard. So, as you can see, trading cards were a big part of my life, even when I was however old I was. And to be honest, this is the whole reason that I made this channel, was not just to share Pokemon designs, but to share all my ideas that whiz round in my head constantly 24/7. So let's get into it. So this first TCG is called Quest Royale. So the aim of Quest Royale would be that you'd assemble a team of questers such as Isla the Night Sister. Each quester would have an attack, a defense and a speed, and HP and different skills. So their different skills would allow them to use skill cards. So for example, Isla could use dexterity skills or healing skills. And then there'd be a middle deck of quests, and sometimes mixed in with the quests there'd be monsters that you'd have to fight using your attack defense. And I can't remember how I included speed in it, but hey ho. Essentially the aim of the game was to complete quests. You would have a structured team of 4 questers that you could pick at the start of the game, and a deck of skills. And each quester had at least one, maybe 3 max skills. Each quest has a completion criteria. So the quest of the Midnight Cave, you'd need to illuminate it. So you'd either need a light skill or a fire skill. So then you would need a quester that could use this, for example. You can see how it got a bit confusing, but let's say that this was the quest and your quester was Spell Nerd. He has the magic skill, so could use this skill, Illuminate, to complete the quest and then win 1 loot card. It was very complicated and I gave up quite fast. I made a few, but I never play tested it because I think it just got too complex. I did, however, remake Isla as a digital artwork. I liked the quest idea, so I stuck with that for the next attempt. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and realised I needed to play test it for it to work and to simplify it too. So I made some really rough cards, and this was an archetype called the King's Guard, with Ornn, the Guarded King, being the boss monster. I tried to simplify it, but it was far too complex still, so that's how Loot Quest was born. Essentially, you'd have player cards who would be different RPG characters like the Thief, the Priest, the Warrior, etc. Each character would have a special ability, and again you'd flip over a shared deck of quest cards, and if your team of questers could beat that, then you'd gain some loot, and it would be the first person to get 10 loot cards and they'd win. It kind of gives me like Uno, maybe, where you could try and trip up other players. Like if you had the thief, then you might be able to steal a loot card and win, for example. Again, this was pretty similar. The idea was that this was going to be like a game that you could play with your family around a dinner table. It was very easy. The idea was it would just come as a set box. You'd shuffle it and dish out the questers for it to be ease of access, and like I said, to be played around the dinner table. I really liked this idea, but I thought I could make it better. Now, many years ago, I had a project called Kingdoms of Anima, and it was all like these anthropomorphic animals who were RPG classes. I'll put some on the screen because they were like my first digital artworks. But yeah, again, I thought I could use these rules from Loot Quest, but give them that animal twist. And that's when these 3 cards were born. And it was making these 3 cards that helped me find my art style and made me a lot more confident in making digital art. I really like the concept, and Kingdoms of Anima has been in my mind for many years, and I wanted the cards to sort of tell a story too. So going back to Kingdoms of Anima, I tried to simplify it a little bit, but then made it much more complex. The whole aim of this game was to build up your kingdom whilst destroying your opponent's kingdom, and you would win if you managed to get 5 kingdom cards on your board. Things like the barn, the veg patch, there's more later on I'll show you, and your animals I guess, would play in that kingdom. So I made this whole farmer class, which all sort of revolved around the farmer card. And then the second archetype was going to be based around like a king and kind of be the opposite to the farming class. And then there was sort of this middle ground which was based on the inn and drunken people. But you can see I just made the blank cards because I did a lot of playtesting with this and it worked and I really enjoyed it, and it's actually a project that I'd love to go back to. Maybe I could do some artworks for these cards. I also did a creature card and this never went anywhere. But it did solidify that I wanted to go back to creatures. My heart was always in creature design, and that's when I made these. I bought these like cards from Amazon, I think it was, but they didn't work with pencil or markers, so I just had to use biros, and again, it didn't really work. I didn't really play test it well enough. But then I moved on to trying again. Here I was just playing around with layouts and different stats and how I wanted them to look. And eventually, I landed on Cross Realms. So I made Cross Realms into an Instagram account, which I've now changed, I think. I can't remember if I've still got the same name. It might be Jake Makes Cards. I'll put it on the screen anyway, so you can have a look. But it was going to be a creature collector, a bit more like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! With humans mixed in as well. And different races, different monsters. Each card had a stamina, which was like their health, a power, which was their attack, a guard, which was their defense, and a range, because I wanted it to be played kind of like a board where you strategically placed your creatures. And there was going to be some kind of like evolution mechanic. So you can see there that Snapsberry level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you could play them on top of each other. And then the effect would get stronger and stronger each time. The first archetype was kind of like a volcanic one, and sadly I've lost some of the cards. I must have deleted them off Procreate. But I never play tested it, and so I never really had enough to go off that it would actually work as a card game, so I gave up with it. And I went back to the drawing board. So this is the start of Rifflings. It didn't have its name yet. I started at the very basics and just used some random cards that I could use as elements to test it. The idea for Rifflings was that you were going to be the tamer and you were the life points, so if your nerd or cool kid was attacked, eventually the card would turn round, and once it's flipped over, your opponent's won. So I started off with marker pens, just to get some colour on because I'm a visual learner. I can't remember if I've shown you all of these before, but I focused on a fire and an earth deck, I think it was. A fire and a nature maybe, just to play test, and I did multiple matches of those two playing against each other. I wanted there to be different archetypes within it, so the Mansa archetype. So yeah, I was happy with where the game was at. It worked, it functioned, you could play against someone, and it wasn't overly boring. So then I decided to invest some time in artwork. And these are the cards that you've seen on my Instagram, and I really enjoyed doing them. The problem was that with them being hand-drawn, it took me ages to make, and I couldn't really make much content with them because it was hard to sit down and film myself drawing by hand. So I decided to go digital because the iPad recorded the process for me and I would be able to post that online. So I made these in 2025 and I made lots and lots of test cards as well with very basic or recycled artwork. You can see there's some characters from Cross Realms. Oh look, these are the ones that were missing before. And that's where we're up to today. The whole aim of Rifflings was to be a playable game that looked nice, and when this little man is older, yeah, you can turn his doodles into creations. He seems to like it. I hope you all enjoyed this video and seeing my TCG journey and hopefully how my art style has developed over the years. TCG is always like in the forefront of my mind. I love collecting Pokemon cards and I love making art, so it's the perfect fusion for me. Obviously my channel is mainly Fakemon based, so a lot of my time and energy goes into that. TCG is like really important to me and I love the idea of making a project based on my kids' drawings. I've play tested these cards, I think they work, and it's a project that I want to carry on working on in the future. So bear with me, and more cards will be coming soon. I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like and a comment down below, and even subscribe to the channel. Every little helps, and I'm growing every day, which is amazing to see, and I'm so thankful. Let me know which card was your favourite and if you want any old cards adding to Rifflings. I think in the next video I might have a go at redesigning some of these cards because since I made the digital ones my art style has evolved again. So if you're looking forward to that, I'll see you next time. Bye.